I'll briefly recap last night after I had a chance to go home and evaluate by watching the film. And New Mexico played exceptionally good basketball and repelled every threat that we gave them. They made some very, very difficult threes, Kendall Williams in particular. And I think if you look at it objectively, which is hard to do, you say New Mexico continues to play better than anybody in our league. Since Vegas beat them when they had back-to-back losses, we beat them at third place, Vegas beat them. They now have won 6 straight games, and the closest game has been 10 points. And I made that statement before. They're playing great basketball. And I think their experience and their depth has reared its ugly head for their opponent. So we didn't shoot the ball particularly well from the outside. I thought for the most part we guarded pretty good. And we got maybe a career game scoring-wise from Tim Shelton. So we did things to get the ball in the spots, and we just couldn't when we had to have an important basket. I think the game was 38-38 early in the second half, and they hit a three. Xavier had a wide-open three off of a great drive, kickback. Then James Rahan had a wide-open three the next time down on a great kick-out. We missed them both, and they went back-to-back-to-back with threes to get the 16-1 run on us. So hard when you lose, hard especially when you lose at home. We've not lost back-to-back games and so many times, and it happened. We have the challenge now of going to Air Force, new coach, maybe renewed enthusiasm. I know when you win, especially on the road like they did at Wyoming, you're excited and ready to play. They made 9 threes. I believe they were 9 for 18 or 9 for 19 from three-point range. And if they make threes, they're hard on anybody. They came from 10 or 12 behind to win the game on the road. It will be a difficult game. We need to make sure that we play as hard as we have been, and we need to make, when we get those open shots, we need to put them down. And that's the nature of what we do. We will be ready. I'm concerned about Jamal Franklin. He has a left ankle sprain. I watched that on tape, put it back a couple of times. He rolled it pretty good on the play where he took a charge. And he's on crutches now. Will be seen again tonight by our doctors, and I would say right now he's iffy for the game on Saturday. If you ask Jamal if he were here, he would say I'm playing, but he's on crutches as we speak, and sometimes kids heal miraculously and are able to go. So we need to evaluate. He will not practice today. He's in a boot and on crutches, and probably won't do anything tomorrow. And if he plays, they'll be tape him up and get him on the floor on game day, and hopefully he can perform. So that's basically where we are, and we will compete. Nobody likes to lose, and we will fight hard. And our goal is to go into the academy and get a win against Air Force. Any questions?
Tim also rolled an ankle. Is he okay?
Tim always has something hurting. I thought Tim played with the brain of a 30-year-old. And, you know, I think the true testament to Tim is he's a 20-year-old who plays like a 30-year-old. He knows how to play. Even when he can't run as fast or jump as high, he plays with a brain power that allows you to be successful. He had 11 first-half points. He had 13 for the game. Made some big plays for us. And all he was thinking about was the one basket he didn't get when we came back and had the ball down 6 with under 2 minutes to go, and he made a great move, faked a little handoff and spun in and had a layup not go in. But when I talked to Tim in the locker room, he was the last one to leave. He and I were the last two there. I said, "How do you feel?" He said, "I'll be all right. He said, "I'll be all right. I'll be ready." And I do think that he will.
Did you sense he was more aggressive last night?
I'm sorry?
Did you sense he was more aggressive last night on offense?
Tim?
Yeah.
I don't know that he was more aggressive. He got the ball more. Got the ball more in the low post, had opportunities. And he maneuvered and operated one-on-one in the post pretty effectively. And then he stepped out and made a three, and he doesn't normally take or make threes. Had another basket that could have gone in that didn't go in that he made 2 free throws on. So, Tim, you look at Tim's stat line, he played very, very effectively.
Your front court seemed to manage what they were doing, in my opinion, pretty well. What was your assessment between Tim and Garrett dealing with the Mexico's front court?
I thought we did a pretty good job. Garrett made some nice plays. He read angles to drop into to get the ball. What we had happen with both of them, really, with Garrett, we had a couple of costly turnovers in that second half. We had one stretch where we had 12 possessions, and I think we scored 8 out of the 12, had 3 turnovers, and then one possession where Garrett got fouled and missed 2 free throws. But I would agree with you. I thought that our bigs, that our front line people did a pretty good job of combating some size and athleticism, and Drew Garden, who was preseason picked to be player of the year and has averaged a double-double. I don't know, no, should say average a double, close to averaging a double-double. He's a load. And he stepped out and made a couple of face-up jumpers, and he was more than just catch it and attack the rim. But I thought our guys did a pretty good job. Garrett's size allowed us not to have to shrink down as much when he was guarding him, and I think that was a little helpful too.
Seems like the results in this conference are at times unpredictable. You look at a lot of the scores from Tuesday and yesterday in terms of who you expect to win and who is winning. Can you kind of talk about the nature of this conference coming down the stretch? It seems maybe more unpredictable than maybe I think some people assume in terms of.
I would say, whether we use the term unpredictable or very, very closely contested from top to bottom, I do think that, in spite of what Boise's record was like before they won, and Air Force, that they're more than capable. They've had some very close games that they haven't been able to win. And there's talent. There's talent everywhere. And I'll use TCU as an example. And I talked about TCU before they came in here. And when they came in here, they made 8 of the first 9 shots. They made 4 straight threes. I watched a little bit of their Vegas game, and they were incredible. Thorns in particular. They were the only team preseason to beat Virginia. So these are good teams in this league. And obviously home court is an advantage. We were not able to hold serve at home last night, which is hurtful. Wyoming or New Mexico couldn't hold it against us at their place, but they've been invincible since our back-to-back games between us and Vegas. But yeah, even as a coach, you think, well, the teams with the better records, and I get myself leaning that way too. Haven't seen anything that happened in Boise, but Boise beats a very good Colorado State team. And then Air Force goes on the road. They're down 12-2 to start. They're down 8 or 9 at half. They're down 10 or 11 in the second half. And they find a way to come back to win. And that's a hard place to win.
Coach Tim, I've never seen him so downtrodden after that game last night. And he's kind of the senior leader of the team. How do you kind of, prevent that worry or that doubt that starts to creep in because you have lost 2 in a row and 3 out of the last 5 or whatever? Or is there any prevention?
I think, especially when you're a senior, and I think somebody said Rayhan was somewhat the same way when they came to talk to you guys. This is Tim's last go-around, and he so desperately wants to win. And when you don't, it's hurtful. How much Tim was dwelling on the shot that he took that didn't go in at the end, that's youthfulness. Talked about him playing like a 30-year-old. The least of my concerns is Tim Shelton not walking into practice today with a smile on his face, ready to go. And he probably won't practice, but Tim will be ready to go. I do not worry at all about that. If I'm worried about guys being ready, Tim would be 13 on a 13-man squad being ready. And I told him afterwards, I said, you have to set the table for how everybody reacts. I didn't have to tell him that, but I reminded him of that responsibility that he has. So maybe he just had a hard time putting on a different face as he went from the locker room to the press conference, but he ain't going to have a hard time putting on a competitive. That was yesterday. We will win on Saturday. Face and attitude that will permeate to all our kids.
When you're talking about the conference, the last two games give credence to the idea that you can really learn a lot about a team when you play it the second time around. You feel like they really learned some lessons from when you beat them and that assimilated in them getting back at you.
Basketball is basketball. Every game's an independent item. You want to win, they want to win. I don't put a whole lot of stock in, well, they won there, so I don't put any stock at all into that. I know that the two teams that beat us are immensely talented. And you're going to have to play well, and you're going to have to make plays. If you win in this league against good people, when opportunities are there, the club that takes advantage of more of them will win. And Vegas did that. We came back, but Vegas did that there. And New Mexico definitely did that here.